Okay, NAL Playdate number 9 predictions, the very last Playdate of the first stage of the 2022 season. This is my second take recording it. We'll see if I actually use this one. The other one ended up being a little bit long, so let's see if we can do this one faster. Do let me know if you're going to be at the major. I guess I'm curious, sound off in the comments. I intend to be there, not 100% sure that I will make it, but I believe I will be able to make it. Okay, so let's go over day number 8. These 4 I all got wrong, and they all ended up being 7-4 for the team on the left, and this ended up being an 8-7. This is the only one I got right. So really rough day for my predictions. Day number 8 was, and Astralis ended up winning this, 8-7. So this could have gone the other way. I think Xset had a chance to win a regulation, and then they also had the chance to win around 15, but they did not, so super close game. This was a massive shock. Mirage should not have beat Beast Coast. I don't know what happened to Beast Coast. They just got run over by mostly Thomas and Melted, who together dropped 29 kills. Just crazy. At this point, Beast Coast wasn't 100% out of the major. They needed Xset to not get another point, but as soon as this game went to overtime, they were out of the major. So heartbreaker for them. That's really tough. Would have liked to have seen them at the major. This one, I felt kind of shaky on this prediction, especially after I made it. I thought, oh yeah, TSM might take it. There were reasons to believe either of them might have taken it, but now in hindsight, yeah, I felt like I should have picked TSM. And yeah, obviously I would have got it right, but it is what it is. Sonics versus Space Station, I felt like this one could go either way. Obviously, Space Station has been much better this stage, but I think Sonics in the past have been traditionally pretty good against Space Station, not beating them every time, but I think they have a winning record, I think, over the course of 2021 at least. And yeah, that's tough for Space Station. I guess not the toughest thing ever after Beast Coast lost. Now Space Station will just be playing against Dark Zero. Winner goes to the major, and every other team is locked in, and that is Oxygen, Astralis, and Xset. I thought that going to Chalet was pretty questionable. I go over this more in oh yeah, so I made a map prediction video, so I'm not going to do that in this video. That'll be in its separate video. I'll link to it, I suppose, below. It probably will be uploaded after this one. And so if you enjoy that in the previous videos, or you haven't seen it and you want to see it, feel free to take a look at that. And then this one, not the biggest shock ever. I did think Oxygen was the favorite. They wanted to probably lock in their first place position. They can still do so, but it's not in their hands. But they certainly wanted to lock in going to the major. This did end up happening because of the other results, but Dark Zero took it over Oxygen. Okay, so going into Playday number 9, Astralis versus Beast Coast. I think Beast Coast is going to be super dejected, considering how they sort of choked away their chance to go to the major against Mirage of all teams. And Astralis, they're in first place. They'd like to remain in first place. If they just take a win here, they will be locked into first place. So I think they have more to play for, and obviously Astralis has been the better team than every other team in the league at the moment, so probably they'll win. I'll predict them. Mirage versus Parabellum. Tough to call, the two Canadian teams, even though there aren't actually that many Canadians in this matchup. Obviously, they've been like similar performing, considering how many points either of them are on. I think aren't Parabellum still on 7, and Mirage is now on 6. So Mirage pulled out a couple surprise wins, one against Beast Coast, one against TSM. Parabellum has sort of been faltering lately, but I feel like they do want to get the points on the board. Any team wants to get points on the board, especially these guys, for it to go to the major, but every other team, you could still get more money, more SI points, just it looks better on the standings, but also at the end of the year, you want points, so it's more likely that you'll go to the NAL finals and also to avoid relegation. There's a lot of reasons to just play for the win, even besides obviously just playing for the win. So I'll go with Parabellum. I think they've looked like the better team, but Mirage could take it. I don't know. I don't think Parabellum's going to lose to Mirage with a coach, even though Beast Coast did exactly that. But I'm going Parabellum. Oxygen versus Xset. This one's extremely hard to call. I don't know, because Oxygen lost to Dark Zero when they should have beat them. It was an even-ish matchup, but I'd say Oxygen was advantage. And then Xset did lose to Astralis, but it was 6-5 Xset. So if they'd won the one round, they would have won the game in regulation. Then it was 7-7. So if they won that round, they would have won in overtime. They put up a really, really good fight against what looks like the best team in the league. Astralis took the one loss versus Oxygen, only team that they lost to. I guess they've had a few overtimes. Oxygen just really got carried over the line against Sonics by Vertical. Newers has been really not so good in the last few days. He was pretty good in the first half of the stage, and he's sort of fallen off. So Newers is probably going to need to wake up. It might be difficult against the Gunners on Xset, but I just feel like Oxygen's the better team. And it might depend on this Astralis game. If Astralis loses especially if they lose in regulation, and then Oxygen, if they win this in regulation, or even overtime, I don't know. There's like a few different situations, but if they win this and Astralis loses, they'll probably get first place, so they'll really be fired up. So I don't know. I'm going to go with Oxygen. I'm just really not confident in this because Xset has been really good. especially in this last play day. So, and well, I mean, maybe not especially. They did take a loss, but they just got their streak ended by the #1 team. So once again, Oxygen over Xset, even if I'm a bit unsure. Dark Zero versus Space Station. This is the big one. Winner of this goes to the major, regardless of the scoreline, overtime, any of that stuff. I think Dark Zero looks like slightly the favorite coming into this. Space Station, for whatever reason, all of their players were not playing especially well. I mean, the stats show that, but I just don't feel like they were playing that well. Versus Sonic, Sever Faults, he had like 2 clutches, I think, 2 big clutches, and so it would have been a much more dominant scoreline by Sonics if that hadn't happened, like 7-2 or something. I just think Chalet was a mistake to go to, and probably if Space Station doesn't make a similar mistake against Dark Zero, go to a map they shouldn't go to, then they have a much better chance of winning. But I mean, I guess Dark Zero has what, like 1 more point on the board. They just beat Oxygen, Space Station just lost to Sonics. You know, so Dark Zero may be a team they shouldn't have beaten, and Space Station may be a team they shouldn't have lost to. So I do think, yeah, Dark Zero coming in a little bit hotter, but I'm going to go with Space Station. It's a 50-50-ish matchup, but I'm just going to rock with the team that I want to win so that I can have no remorse while cheering for either team. You know, I want Space Station to win so that they'll go to the major. That's my preferred team. Dark Zero would be fun as well, but you know, just Space Station's my team, and it's much easier for me to cheer for them if I also predicted them. So yeah, I'm going with Space Station there. And then this last one, this looked like it would have been a banger if looking at it at the very beginning before any games were played. This was the NAL champion versus the world champion. You know, maybe these guys would have been playing for first place. Maybe they would have been playing for major contention. Maybe it would have been a hot match, but both of them are pretty low on the standings. I think probably whichever one wins will be above the other on the standings, so there is that. Again, you're playing for money and SI points and whatever other stuff. I think I liked Sonic's play in especially this last play day more. Both of them did take a win. TSM over Parabellum is probably less impressive of a win than Sonic's over Space Station. And yeah, I just thought Sonic's looked especially lethal like they did in the past, just in this one play day. And TSM still maybe a little bit dopey, and maybe Parabellum just a bit dopier. So I don't want to chalk it up to just their opponents playing bad, but I again felt like Sonics played better than TSM did on the day, even though it was an identical scoreline in each of these games. So I'll go Sonics, and yeah, I mean, it's also just sort of my preferred team. So those are going to be my predictions for the final playday. One more time: Astralis over Beast Coast, Parabellum over Mirage, Oxygen over Xset, Space Station over Dark Zero, and Sonics over TSM. So I got this little back and forth in terms of left and right, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so that's gonna do it, I suppose, for this video. Hopefully I can get a good number of these right to salvage my prediction rate. I fell from about 70% to about 62.5%, so maybe if I get a good number of these right, I can go back to about 2/3. That'd be cool. If not, I mean, it is what it is. Maybe I could still beat all of the people on the broadcast. I think I'm tied with Jacob or something right now. Not sure. Okay. And right, so once again, if you want to check out that companion video with the map bans for the map ban predictions for Dark Zero versus Space Station, and otherwise, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, whatever, leave them below. Leave me a like and a sub. It's appreciated. And with all of that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.